All right now. What's happening, y'all? It's your main man, the Iceman, Can you dig it? More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man fucks. What's happening, chocolate people? What's happening? What's happening to all the folks in the middle? You dig? Well, all right now. Get your punk ass. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Come and hang with me, the Iceman. You didn't meet me here, you beat me here. And that's all right, because humdrum, skits, twiddly-dee-dum, Star Child. And to all the rest of y'all, fuck y'all. Ah, it's so beautiful. So lovely. Like Manila, Philippines, in the middle of a monsoon. Can you dig it? As we proceed to give you what you need with your black ass. Now look at here. Now, I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to boast. I might be the butter or the jam on your breakfast toast. Can you dig it? All right now. I'm just trying to be relevant. You dig? Now look at here. Now, I know a lot of you simps, I know a lot of you tricks watch my show. And I know you don't want to admit that you do. You trying to act like you are part of some simp / trick secret intelligence society or some shit. When you know them, that ain't what them shits is. It's just a bunch of nigga nerds who are on the verge of becoming incels. Little nasty niggas. Circle jerk anyone? Not over here. You digs. Now look at here. Now, what up, Triple T Kill? By the way, you can donate today. Today is $10 donation Saturday. You can donate via the Cash App. The Cash App address is in the chat room. It's $ the Iceman 1906. That's the Cash App ID. You can donate via that, and that's painless and free. Or you can go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and donate there. And all donations are 100% tax deductible. And you can write them off on your 2020 taxes. When you file in 2020, excuse me. You make sure I get that right. I want to give people improper, tax information, and when you get audited, you try to blame my ass. And I'm be like, nah, homie, nah, try to catch me slipping. Nah, I ain't that type player. Nope. You trying to catch me slipping. Nah, the Iceman don't get caught slipping too often. You digs? No, I ain't feeling that, player. Nah, I ain't feeling that. You digs? Now, if you're on Facebook, you might want to subscribe to my channel in case we get cut off, because Facebook loves to cut me off. So if you're on Facebook and you can't view me for the show's entirety, then you're gonna have to switch over to YouTube, and I would suggest you subscribe to my channel so you don't get left out. Okay? Make sure when you subscribe, you hit the bell. Let's make sure we get that so you get my notifications when I'm on the air. A lot of people say, hey, Ice, sometimes I don't get notified that you're on the air. Because sometimes I'll look at it, it looks like it says 25 people watching, but then when I end the live stream, it's like 200 or 300 people were actually in the room watching. They just weren't in the chat room. So if you want to help out, donate, please go to those, use one of those two or both of those donating delivery services. Okay. Simpson tricks. Some people say Simpson tricks rule the world. That's true. Because if the world was ruled by real players, the game wouldn't be as fucked up as it is. The dating game wouldn't be as fucked up as it is. It used to be meeting new women was fun when I was a young man. Now meeting new women I'm just like, yeah. I don't know if I would even want to holler at this bitch. Because it used to be, for me, was looks. If a woman was built a certain way, looked a certain way, then I pulled over in my vehicle and got at them. That's how we used to do back in the day. If we saw somebody that was fly, we pulled over and was like, hey, what's up? And women were impressed with that shit. You kind of see that in Menace to Society. When you look at Menace to Society, that's kind of that mentality, that LA mentality. That's why I love that movie so much, because that's not my life, but you know, I understand that LA code, that LA how motherfuckers moving them streets, how you move in them streets sometimes determine whether or not you get home at night. Sometimes I was in Crip neighborhoods with an all red vehicle, but then nobody fuck with me because I didn't move like that. I didn't move like I was trying to get fucked with. I'm just over here picking this chick up for a date. You digs? But simping, let me give you a crash definition of simping. Simping is for men or women, because I've dated some female simps. I did a show about 6 years ago about female simps. There's some female simps out here. Anyway, the simp this is a guy that wants to cut corners when it comes to women. This is a guy who will meet a chick and say, hey, I'll pay your student loan debt. I'll pay all your bills. But here's the catch. The simp is usually unattractive. Or if he is attractive, he's got real low self-esteem. So he comes at women leading with his money. And the reason why he does that is because when a guy leads with his money, 9 times out of 10, a woman is going to let stuff slide. She'll say, well, he's ugly, but he said he's gonna pay my Visa bill. You see what I'm saying? He start offering free shit. He try to make hoes think that everything is free. And the reason why you don't never do that is because when you deal with humans, and I'm gonna talk about this in my second book, the Dating Bible. My first book is The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get this book from me at AskTheIceman.com, or you can go to Amazon.com and pick this book up. And some great information in here about behavior and dating, and and it leads into my second book, The Dating Bible. So you can get this at Amazon, or you can get it directly from me at AskTheIceman.com. That's what it looks like, the paperback version. Dig it. So get them shits today, man. So you don't be left out in the cold, player. But anyway, so a simp tries to cut corners because he knows there's something wrong with him, either in his behavior and or his appearance. Y'all see where I'm going with this? All in all, he has low self-esteem. So he has to lead with his money. So he's trying to cover up something to make the woman think that he's got dough when he really doesn't. Y'all following me? So what that does, that put pressure on all of the non-simps out here, all of you and me, who ain't gonna do that, who ain't gonna start taking a woman out for expensive dinners right away. Because what I was alluding to is that humans, the way humans think, is kind of on a sliding scale. You're either going up or you're going down. And if you're going down, then the relationship is disintegrating right in front of your eyes. But if it's going up like this, that means you could get a lot more traction out of your relationship. You ain't totally sick of each other. Finances are the number one thing that breaks up families. But what else breaks up families or breaks up relationships is people getting tired of each other. You getting tired of the way his feet smell. You getting tired of the way, he don't clean up after himself. I hear this a lot from white girls, because white dudes do gross shit. They'll leave they dirty ass socks on the damn counter where you eat at. They do stuff like that. That shit you see in the movies is real. Because I had too many white roommates, female and male. Nasty as hell. I ain't saying that ain't, I ain't trying to be mean. I'm telling you the truth. You're trying to, shit on white people. They know they nasty. They'll tell you they nasty. Some white dudes are so nasty, I wouldn't even go in their room without a Kim gear. Motherfuckers so nasty. That's just, some people are just like that. But a lot of them are on that nasty tip because they used to their mamas cleaning up after them. But a simp, simps, their mentality is, let me try to make this chick think I got some money so I can cover up my shortcomings. Okay? That's why I try to separate bad boys from provider types. One of my sons got mad about that in the book, talking about, I forgot what he said, but he was like, so you saying guys come out single female head of households, they're gonna be, letting women push them around and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, you're more likely to, just to get some ass. Yeah, I said, I wrote that in the book. Like, dude, you do that over there where you at. That shit don't scare me, dude. I'm talking crazy. Talking some crazy shit. When you start talking about that kind of stuff. When you start telling people the truth, a lot of people, they want to leave the room. They want to get the fuck out of Dodge because people ain't, motherfucker don't want to hear about their problems been put out there for everybody to see. Plus, a lot of people are so insecure, they might even think that, they might even think they're being, that that's normal behavior that they're engaging in. Because they ain't had no kind of, no parent at home. Like a father, especially. So you learn silly ass female coping mechanisms that don't work unless you institutionalized in jail, in prison. That's why them guys do so good in prison. They thrive in prison. Then they get out. If they do get out, if they can get out, they get out. They don't know how. They end up right back in there because what else do they know? What else do they know except for scheming and trying to manipulate somebody and all this kind of those kinds of skills work perfect in prison, but they don't work well in life dealing with other men. Only men who are of authority, who are the color of authority in institutional settings. See, somebody that's a sociology major or somebody that's a psychology major will understand what I'm talking about. This is somebody that can't function, like they can't deal with men like me or some of you guys. They look at men like you or me. They say, "Oh, we lames," and they'll say, "Oh, we the guys you rob." When me and you, or me and us, we with our girls, we coming out of the movie theater after seeing the new movie. Here, this nigga come running up, talking about stick him up. But we squares. We work for hours, but we squares. Can you dig it? Ain't that a bitch? You mean to tell me because we don't want to walk around here and knock other people in the head and take stuff that they worked hard for? That makes us bad people. Oh, okay. Guess I'll be a bad person. I would rather be the guy that puts money in your pocket rather than takes money out of your pocket. Because if we all eat, if I make it so everybody eat, you're gonna be a lot less likely to rob me or rob you. The reason why people go out here and rob and steal is because they are under they're not under the impression, because that's what I was going to start with. Their life trajectory has always been scarcity, never having enough of anything. Now, if this would have been 20, 30 years ago, That would have been the guy that went to the military so he could get 3 hots at a cot. But some guys would just commit crime because they don't care, and they know they're gonna end up in prison getting 3 hots in a cot that way. But simps, their whole mentality is to give the woman the wounded deer that they hit on the side of the road that nobody wants, but you're gonna go ahead and throw that wounded deer in the back of your truck and take it home and shoot it in the head and eat it. But you didn't hunt that deer, you ran into him. So you cheated. And now I'm not gonna say that simps and tricks cheat, but at the same time, because I don't want this to get in people's heads that I'm advocating violence against simps and tricks, because it's usually the true simps and the tricks who are exacting violence on other people, like that dude that half Asian dude whose son I guess he was some British dude. He was a director in Hollywood, and his son went to UC Santa Barbara, and he was mad. He got a brand new BMW, still can't get no bitches. So he shoots up the area of the school where he's at. He kills like 8, 9 people, and then he kills himself. And I even did a video about him, Killer Simps. Actually did two videos on Killer Simps. Simps will kill you over some pussy. I done had brothers who I know only knew the chick I was fucking with because they was on MySpace, threatened me because of a white girl I'm with, and this motherfucker don't even live nowhere near us. You got a lot of sick black men out here. Yeah, Elliot Rogers is Steve Stevens, fat boy. Sad. You digs? So what you have to understand is that simps always want to avoid having to come in the game and demand respect. Because if you agree with a woman all the time, she's gonna get sick of you. Okay? The stuff that my ex-wife used to say about her present husband back when we first got divorced, you don't say that about a dude that is your only option. You don't say that about a dude who's your only option. You ain't got no options. Look in the mirror. You have, unless you're giving away free pussy, which is what she was doing. Motherfuckers want to twist the game up. Don't twist the game up. Let the game be what it is. Sometimes the game hurt. Sometimes you got to talk about shit that's fucked up. Hey, I talk about some of this shit with my ex-wife. Hey, man, I'm embarrassed, but I'm not embarrassed and not use it as a teachable moment, because I don't embarrass I'm the type of person, I don't really embarrass, like, nice man, you know, you shit on yourself. I don't really embarrass like that. I'm not saying that I'm a glutton for, emotional punishment. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I got real thick skin. It take a lot for me to be embarrassed. That's why singing doesn't, getting in front of people singing, playing music is not hard for me, because I've been doing it since I was 4 or 5 years old. It's just something that was done. Get up there, do this, make sure the mic is in front of your mouth and sing. Sing, boy. It's your black ass. But here's the thing. Simps are trying to bypass crucial steps that are supposed to progress throughout the interaction between he and the woman. Y'all see where I'm going with this? There are steps that, see, back when I was in my 20s, they could still call it courting somebody. When you court a woman, this is where you start with the, hey, you want to meet me for coffee? You want to meet me for lunch? Or what we used to do, say, hey, meet me at the Rose Garden. Because there were certain places around the city that were beautiful, but they didn't cost nothing. The Rose Garden, we as a family, we used to go over there. I didn't like it when I was a kid, but it's a real, it's a lot. I just don't like because it got a lot of bees and stuff around it, but it's beautiful because so many different types of roses, and a lot of people come out there and take pictures. It's a real good thing for you. Like if you first date, you think this person might be a keeper, that's a good place to go and stand out there and take pictures. Beautiful flower. If you appreciate botanicals and flowers and stuff like that, which most black people do, that's where you go. So there was always places to go where you didn't have to spend no money. And then two women just didn't come at you like that. Every now and then, but because we were all just going to Taco Bell and McDonald's. You talking about 30 years ago. People ate at McDonald's and Burger King. They were decent back then. Now, Carl's Jr. sucked, but Wendy's was kind of on the come up. But back then, McDonald's was still good. So black people were still going to McDonald's. We weren't going to expensive restaurant. We went to something like, if you out there in SoCal, they got these restaurants called the El Torito, and they're a chain of Tex-Mex type restaurants where you could pretty much get a standard, nachos, tacos, stuff like that in a dinner setting, and it's fast. It's not fast casual. It's casual dining. If you gave it your top star restaurants are your 5-star, your 4-star, your 3-star. Like Morton's, the steakhouse is like a 4 or 5. Where the lowest thing, or Manny's downtown Minneapolis in the W Hotel. I stayed there a couple of times. Where your meal is gonna be upwards of about $300 because of the cut of chicken, type of chicken. Maybe you want pheasant from south of France. Well, that shit gonna cost you, dog. And then they also recommend a certain type of Chablis type, wine or something. So all that stuff costs bank. That's why you don't start there. And like I said, like I was saying earlier in the broadcast, a relationship should be like an incline. you start here as low as possible. You start as low as you can, where there's absolutely no money exchanging hands. And then it moves up like this as it progresses and you guys get to know each other. That's how we did it. That's how that's that way you can weed out the wallet assassins. You can weed out the women who are there to just murk your wallet. See, we used to weed women out back then. You niggas. See, that's why I say it's a lot like I tell people, I say, hey man, dating is a lot like reading the defense. See, the defense you might have saw back in the 80s, it wasn't that many tricks. You didn't really have to have your guard up all the time. The way our culture was, the way black culture was back then, there was a lot more interaction between black men and black women. We were always in front of each other. And so there was, we didn't have social media and internet and all that. So you had to spit and women would give you a shot. They let you shoot your shot. But the problem was if you were a lame and you didn't know how to shoot your shot, then you ended up being, you didn't get no women. Like when you look at people, look, let me explain something. Let me explain to you. Let me give you just, put somebody out there that's just a trick. And I mean, I don't mean like simping in a matter of simping trick. This guy, Steve Harvey, is if it wasn't for the internet, well, obviously, what's to call it, Def Comedy Jam. If it wasn't for the internet and the advent of the social media craze, people like Steve Harvey couldn't sell those bullshit books. Think like a man, think like a man, act like a hoe. You couldn't sell the citizenry that kind of flim flam because it's flim flam. Look, everything in books like that go against the natural or organic way that males and females should be interacting with each other in order to promote what's the number one thing? Procreation. All this recreational love and recreational sex, all that is bullshit. That's why it doesn't work. Talking about motherfucker being romantic. How how many women said, hey, my husband wasn't romantic, but he put food on the table and kept them lights on. Yeah, he couldn't fuck worth of shit, but hey, he sure could tickle my belly, goddammit. See, white women, they be looking at the shit that's more important, the bag. Why you looking at Ray, he cute. That's why I've been with him. I'm with Ray because he cute. He got big dick. And he fucked me good. That's why I got 5 kids by him. Girl, tomorrow we gonna go to the Ticky Tack Club and we gonna beat his main baby mama up, girl. We gonna beat her ass. I'ma beat her ass. See, black women be on some shit like that. That's why y'all end up with niggas that don't contribute or don't want to contribute. First of all, the nigga that got when he got with you, he ain't get with you to have no kid. Okay, he got what you could have fun. This next bitch up. Okay, some niggas don't want no bottom bitch. It's just next. It's like playing video game. What's the next game coming out? I'll waste $80 on it. I don't give a fuck. Oh, I'm gonna get to the Me Too, that Me Too bullshit. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that feminism and that Me Too shit. That's ruined. Totally. That put the icing on the cake when it came to women in the next 5 to 10 years not having husbands and men not wanting to have children. It's gonna be a lot of women going to these sperm banks. Okay, because they fucking up the organic the organic process between a man and a woman. They ruin it. They have almost permanently ruined it. How the fuck are you supposed to talk to somebody? You mean to tell me that it's a crime for me to just try to get the pussy? What if I said, hey, you want to go somewhere? You tell me no, and I just leave it alone? How is that a crime? When I got trained in corporate, when I worked in corporate America, when I got trained on sexual harassment, is if his sexual harassment ain't asking somebody out. Because how the fuck are you supposed to meet people? Some people, that's the only place they meet people is at work. So if you say, hey, you wanna get a drink sometime? If she says no, and you never ever broach that subject again, then there's no sexual harassment. But you got women saying just because a dude try to spit at him at the job, that's sexual harassment. Those are the kind of waters we're swimming around in today. And then that's why my broadcast, the Player Circle podcast, this is why I have to do this. Because guys need to be educated. Just like I was telling you about back in the day when you played football, you didn't have to read all these defenses that you've never seen before. But when you walk up to the line of scrimmage like Tom Brady, you better be able to read that defense. What are they getting ready to do? Are they going to jump to another formation before I hike the ball? You got to be thinking all this stuff. When you scan that in, it's like when we used to go on patrol. When you go on patrol, they teach you to scan from left to right. So if anybody moves, even at night, if anybody moves, that means somebody's out there pointing their guns at you, and you better start shooting. They used to catch us slipping like that in Vietnam. We used to get a lot of guys fucked up like that, walking straight up, and you don't see. That's that guerrilla warfare. Booby trapping shit. Oh, they was catching us slipping. We trying to fight the war like we did in the Civil War. Motherfucking kid playing the drum, and we walking and poof, these motherfuckers with muskets. Well, we ain't fighting that kind of war no more. Y'all know because y'all invented it. So you got to see what people don't know is special forces been going around all around the world teaching all these little country motherfuckers all around the world been teaching these people how to do this stuff, and then they used it against them. You think they don't? You think guerrilla warfare came from? It was either us or them Russians. You digs? But I'm gonna tell you, people have now exposed Steve Harvey as a fraud. Eventually, that was gonna happen. I've been saying that for years because I've been calling him Captain Bubble Lips. I've been calling him out on his bullshit for years. You are telling people to go totally see what the feminists and people like the Steve Harveys is telling people to do is go against a human and gender nature. Excuse me. To go against what God put you on this earth to do, which was be fruitful and multiply. But because the Europeans wanted to make a system, a global caste system where, the more pale your skin is, the more successful you can be because you'll be handed opportunities that others, darker folks, will not be afforded. And you see that in every country around the world, even in some African countries. Once we get off of that silly ass shit, we can get a lot done. Guys would support. I know I'd have a lot more guys supporting the movement. We're trying to fight feminism. I'm trying to fight simping and tricking. And I know a lot of people, it's going to go over their head because you're not, I'm not going to say you ain't smart enough to break this material down. It's going to go over your head. But still keep fighting, keep listening, and you'll get it. Don't give up. It's just like I tell my life coaching clients, hey man, don't give up. Don't give up on me. Don't give up on yourself. You can do it. I got a life coaching client right now that I got talking to women, and we really weren't even ready for him to start talking to women. But I got him talking to women because I'm like, no, we're just gonna go ahead and jump in this feet first because you need to make mistakes. You need the reps. You need the reps, man. You digs? If you want to donate today, you can go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button, or you can donate via the Cash App. My Cash App ID is $ the Iceman 1906. Can you dig it? All donations are 100% tax deductible. Okay. No hustles and no games over here. No GoFundMe's over here. This is a real This is a real 501c3 nonprofit. You digs? So you can donate either or. But anyway, the simps, this is why a lot of the Dating Bible, my second book, is going to be dedicated to deconstructing those cognitive barriers that have been created in your mind by how you were raised. Because the Oedipus complex is one of the reasons why dating is difficult for a lot of men who come out of single female-headed households, because every time you see Black women and all women in general, especially single moms, you see your mama instead of seeing, okay, I need a woman that's going to be best suited for the type of life I want to live. Okay. That's why I don't date a whole lot of women anymore, because it's a waste of my time. And I don't like wasting my time at my age. I'd rather be getting fit than to be wasted time chasing women around. I ain't never had to do that anyway. Seems like the older you get, the worse the women get. That's why I was telling somebody the other day, I said, man, I'm going to give me a young chick. It seemed like every young chick, really young chick that I had, that I was, it was a 20-something year age difference. We got along better than I did with women my age. And yeah, people would look and be like, oh, look at that 40-year-old dude with that young chick. So what? The pussy tight too, nigga. How about that? Got me some young 26-year-old pussy. What you got? Seem like the best chicks to get is a little broke, little 25-year-old white girl or Hispanic chick. They be, you know, some of them, they are very, very receptive and very, very appreciative of a dude taking care of them. Because they tired of that being a waitress and a server and all that. They tired of that and working fast food. They get to that age where they tired of being a server at Applebee's. They see they ain't gonna go no higher than that. Let me explain something. Let me say something to the players, some of you young players. Let me say this to you, man. Let me holler at you. Check this out. Do you think that white people, some of these Caucasian people don't, and this is not a slight on any Caucasian people whatsoever. This is just a truthful observation. You think some of these Caucasian people don't wake up and realize they ain't going nowhere? And think about that for a second. That's a waste of whiteness. When you see you sitting there at 25 years old, you know, already giving up. You just said, well, you know, as a white person, this is about the best I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a bartender. This old punk ass bar over here, making 26,000 a year. Some people, hey man, especially if you live in the South, if you ever lived in the South, or you live in the Midwest, especially upper Midwest, where I'm from, nigga, them white girls be working them bum motherfucking jobs. They be working, you know, it'll be a whole lot of them Mexicans. It'll be white girls be the ones that be the servers or cleaning the hotels. It don't be no whole bunch of Hispanics or it be African chicks. It'd be chicks that got here straight from Somalia and Kenya or Ethiopia. Not too much Ethiopia. They seem to have a little more money. But them Somalians, they come here with nothing. And they still got to pay the government back for that refugee fee. And it's like $7,500. They ain't free coming. They ain't free. They got to pay that money back, dog. Refugee status afford them free welfare. They go to school. They'll pay for them to go to school, but they still got to pay that refugee fee. They sit up here talking about, oh, well, you know, them people that cross the Rio Grande be paying them coyotes. Well, shit, they pay. Well, who's better? Paying the coyote $7,000 or paying UNICEF to bring them over here, and they got to pay UNICEF back, or they got to pay whatever federal agency handles refugee status. I don't know what. I think it's Department of oh shoot, I think it's Department of Commerce. The refugee, we got a office of the refugee settlements and all that kind of stuff. And then they also contract some of those services. They got a big operation in San Antonio. Believe it or not, San Antonio got a lot of Africans. And all the countries that have been at war the last 20 or 30 years, they're the ones coming to San Antonio. And some of them are happy with working in Walmart, buffing floors at night. I'm like, dude, that's all you want to do? Really? But again, when they come over here, they women, they be around their people. So their people, they women ain't giving them shit like they giving us shit. I'm like this, I don't give a damn how much a man make. If he could take care of his expenses and he could afford to take you out and he ain't looking stressed out like he's spending his rent money or his mortgage money taking you out, then what you complaining about? Because we got plenty we can complain about. If you want to keep it 100, Y'all sitting up here talking about, well, girl, I'm with Cedric, but he ain't that tall, girl. I want me somebody over 6 feet. Yeah, you 5'1", 160 pounds. How can you make demands on somebody? See, it be that type of shit that make a lot of brothers not want to date, because they be like, it's too many broads out here that physically ain't even what we looking for, but yet y'all up here talking shit. You talking shit like you got so many options, and your only options is, okay, Ray Ray or Day Day or Walmart Tavius. That's your option. You can't get a lame, because a lame don't want to be bothered with your out of shape ass, over the hill ass. See, once you hit the wall, the dudes you've been calling a lame, like the Robert Smith types, now that they don't want you, and they go get a washed up Playboy bunny, whatever we all want to call her. Yeah, she ain't the type of white girl I would go get. But he got a white girl that, he's around these types of white boys. He went and got a rich white man type white girl. Although he could have got one a lot younger. He got one that was, she in her late 30s. Looked like she in her late 30s. She ain't very attractive at all. I mean, she ain't nobody I would holler at. Or probably y'all, but at the same time, that's what he want. Who cares what we want? But what I'm saying is, you got women who would call Robert Smith I'm gonna do a show. I'm thinking about doing a show on polygamy and chopping it up with the players and find out how y'all feel about polygamy, because it's some brothers turning into polygamy, because it ain't really no man or no woman's nature to be with one motherfucker. It just wasn't. That's not our nature to be with one person, but it's the most economical in America and in the Western world. It's the most economical, because in these other countries, they might have more than one wife, but the cost of living is very low because there's subsistence. You know what I'm saying? So, and it also might make more sense, to bolster their numbers. The more wives, because the chief is the head guy, he's supposed to be the most virile. He's supposed to be the most healthy. He's supposed to be the most wise. So he's supposed to get his pick of young wives to procreate with, because it's as far as their folklore is concerned, it's a show of strength with native people to have a bunch of kids, and that meant that he had to have more than one wife. So it was more about survival than anything else. But Western, we legalized marriage. We made marriage a hustle. We made, just like everything else we do in America, not we, but the white supremacists that run America, they weaponized it. And see, that the Dating Bible, my second book, that whole book is going to be dedicated to deconstructing the trickery that has been created by the white supremacist feminists over the past 30, 40, 50 years. It's a lot of material to go over. It's not as simple as, okay, we really took this Me Too hashtag and made a movement out of it, because what we really was trying to do was indirectly get at black men. We are always the target, whether directly or indirectly, because the only guys who are who are either already in prison or on their way to prison is Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. They said R. Kelly had got 11 more counts thrusted. They trying to give him life. They trying to take his money and they trying to give him life. Now, here's the thing. Here's the strategy that R. Kelly might be trying. And this is the same thing that Suge Knight is doing. See, what a lot of these guys do is they take money and they shift it to corporate accounts. And so when you shift your money to corporate accounts, the child support people can't get the money. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So what a lot of these guys will do is they'll shift their money to a corporate account. That's what 50 Cent did. He didn't have to file bankruptcy, personal bankruptcy. He did it so he didn't have to pay certain people. But he probably had the money in corporate accounts. But that money is off limits. That liquid is off limits. Because those people didn't sue the business. They were suing him. His creditors were suing him. So that's what Suge did. Suge went and stole a lot of that death row money and put it in offshore accounts, Grand Caymans, Fiji. There's banks down there, probably French, but there's banks down there that people stash their money away. That's what that movie, The Firm, was about. That movie shed a lot of light on the trickery that goes on with tax shelters and people like Warren Buffett and businesses like Delta and Amazon not paying any federal income tax. But thanks to Reagan and Trump, it is the way it is. By the way, if you have not subscribed to my Mad Voodoo Man channel, please do so right now. Let me put that in the chat room. Here's my channel. It's spelled a different way. That way you guys have it. Those of you who are already on YouTube, you already have it. But I just want to make sure that my Facebook peeps have it. Anyway, it's more technical than that. It's more diabolical than let's just go after black men directly and indirectly to destroy and then feed them this homosexuality narrative, because that will stop the if we have more homosexuals in the black community, that means less children. See, gotta think the way they think. So let's promote trans. Let's promote transgendering and all this type of nonsense. So if those black folks are talking, we're talking about if us ADOS, foundational black folks, are trying to get reparations, then here we got Negroes coming in the room talking about, well, what about LGBT? Well, what about black on black crime? You start getting that element. And you start saying, well, these Caucasian people they're not our enemies. They start talking that shit because they bring the reverends in. Y'all see how I'm playing? I'm laying this out. Let me quarterback this thing. See, this thing gets far more diabolical than you ever would imagine. It ain't just he, ha, ha. Look at these stupid simps. Look at these stupid tricks. It's a lot deeper than that. See, white dudes have been tricking and simping since the beginning of time because that's their nature. They're vacant. They're very vapid, vacant people. They would rather go and kill their cat and chop their cat up and figure out how a cat dies. Let me tell you something. The Jeffrey Dahmers and the Ted Bundys, there are more of those guys than you think. And it's just like this white dude said, this white detective said the reason why we have problems catching people like the Golden State rapist and killer and the night strangler, the reason why we struggle with catching these guys is because these white guys look like the average guy that walks in golf, that reads Golf Digest, or he drives trucks and he's a roughneck. He's a blue collar guy. So when you're looking, so if you're looking for somebody with a crazed look on their face, and you know the guy's Caucasian, you ain't gonna see this guy coming. Look at the guys who have been elevated to black, or black guys who have been elevated to being black serial killers. The guy in Cleveland. He looked like he was a nigga nerd. He looked like a very antisocial type dude. And he's stanking up the community with dead bodies decomposing in his house. And these people talk about, oh, his house smells horrible. Yeah, because he got dead bodies up in there, in the basement and in the yard and all that type of shit. You know, he had them all up in the house. Sick motherfucker, man. It's these type of dudes out here. They had something on Jeffrey Dahmer, dude. Look, I don't know what them people was thinking. They were just describing him from a child up to like 18, 19 years old. Dude, it was like two-hour segments. I could barely get through the first one. This guy was so creepy. Jeffrey Dahmer, dude, let me tell you something. Just them describing him, the people who were involved in that case, they were disturbed. You could tell they had a hard time. They were having a hard time talking about Jeffrey Dahmer. The prosecutors, the detectives, the families that were affected. Man, the way they were describing this guy, it was so sick. I could barely look at it. I could barely watch it. And I only looked at the first one. They had another one that came on that was 2 hours long. I said, man, I don't need to see no more of this shit. Plus, I already know how this movie gonna end. He gonna end by him getting what he deserved. You digs? That's the problem with sex trafficking. You got guys out here that look like regular guys who might have a 10-year-old girl in the back of their truck, but they look normal. What the fuck is normal? And that's why I keep telling cats, the way these women, it's not that these women are showing very technical defenses. I'm using football as an analogy. It's not that these women are so smart on defense. It's that you are not getting any reps in. You're not getting out here figuring things out. Okay, this works, this doesn't. You're not getting, see, we got a chance to do that in high school. Okay, did this work? No, this doesn't. You get a chance to fail. So by the time you got to 20, 21 years old, you kind of knew, you were still trying to be a player, but you kind of was like, now I kind of got some practice. Guys are not even getting that. So you got 40 and 50-year-old men who are either damn near virgins again, or they're straight up virgins. Never in the history of my conscious thinking have I ever seen so many black men who have no skills, no social skills in talking to women. None. And they're 40 and 50 years old. And they've either only been with, like, maybe only have sex with one or two chicks, or they haven't had sex at all. And you know damn well, if you can't find one of these Godzilla looking bitches that go out here and have sex with just so you can pop off a couple of nuts, man, it's plenty just average look. It's plenty fives out here who will be happy to have somebody lay on top of them. But unfortunately, a lot of them are white women, and some guys, they like, man, I ain't dating no white woman. You got a lot of cats that's like, yeah, there's a white woman. This white woman at work be on me. And some of them don't look too bad. Some of them got nice bodies. They just ain't that cute in the face. But it's just like, even then, you know, they still presentable, you know, because I talk about my scale of how I give points. If a woman's body is I kind of separate face, body, kids. Those are the three categories where I either give you points or you lose points. And I'm gonna talk about that in perspective in the Dating Bible, my second book. It'll be out next year. I'm gonna break it down in layman's terms so you can understand what I'm talking about. Because I will, you know, on these videos, these live streams may only be an hour, 2 hours. I can't break this stuff down. I'm gonna have to do a part 2, a part 3, part 4 of this, because there's so much of this shit that has to be deprogrammed out your head. It got to be unlearned, and I can't do that in an hour and a half. We have to do this for 3 or 4 more weeks, so that way, what I talk about next week, you'll be like, yeah, I see what the Iceman talking about. He picked up where he left off last week. But a lot of cats, you ain't had a chance to get them reps in. And you need to get them reps in. If you don't get those reps in, you're going to fall flat on your face with women, and you're going to start getting resentful. And that's where a lot of you guys are. A lot of you guys are resentful. Make sure you subscribe to my Mad Voodoo Man channel on YouTube, in case we get cut off on Facebook. But a lot of cats don't want to listen. You're at a disadvantage. The best thing you guys can do, if you are simp or a trick, the best thing you can do is identify that you a simp and a trick, and that you need to do something about it. And I have had guys hire me as a life coach. And some of them guys have gotten out of their mama's basement, they stopped sleeping on that racing car bed. Now they got their own place, but they had to want it. You have to want it. They wanted it. A lot of you guys want to stay a simp the rest of your life. You don't want it that bad. Don't lie and say you do. You don't want it. And if you ain't willing to work, when you grow up with a father in the house, you grow up with some intestinal fortitude, because you see some of it in your dad. You might not see a whole lot of it, but you see some of it. It's enough to let you know, okay, this is, my dad ain't perfect, but this is what a man's supposed to do. He's supposed to get up off his ass and go to work. If nothing else, I got that from my dad and my mom. So when my ex-wife came along, not contributing shit, but wanted to sit on her lazy ass and do nothing, and then got mad because I wouldn't let her, to this day, I can give a fuck. I know I did the right thing. I was like, I told her too, you ain't cute enough to be allowed to sit at home. Because I would say shit like, oh, you ain't Halle Berry. You don't look like that. Because obviously back then, that was 20-some years ago, Halle Berry was a dime 20-some years ago. She was in her late 20s. So she was looking cute as a motherfucker. But she ain't that cute today. I mean, I wouldn't kick her out of bed, but you know, she ain't on, she ain't at the top of my list either. She wouldn't be my bottom bitch if you know what I mean. You digs? But these simps know that it's a mistake to go in and out of the game backwards. They know they going in and out of the game backwards. What up, B the Great B, Brown Sauces? Love you, brother. I'd rather be a lame than to be a thug with several felonies on my record. Look, when I did that video once upon a time, the Iceman was Dusty. I can tell you, I had my run-ins with trying to be an amateur criminal. That shit don't work, dog. Because when you go to jail, that's all you're gonna be around is your people, and that ain't a good thing. I ain't used to being in no cage. Okay, thank God I ain't never been back. You digs? Exactly. Halle Berry and Strictly Business. She was fine as hell. Oh, and Boomerang. But shit, today, no. Halle Berry's 50-some years old. She's a middle-aged woman. She ain't got no business being in, and niggas ain't got no business going ooh, ah over her ass unless something wrong with you. I mean, she's still cute. She still got a tight body, but she's a 50-year-old woman. She ain't nobody's bottom bitch. Sure, she shouldn't be. So many thirsty niggas out here. But to talk about simping and tricking, you got to talk about the behavior, where the behavior comes from. I don't have enough time to do that. Not today. I'm going to do a part 2, part 3, and part 4 of this. Because there's so much stuff that you got to unlearn, unpack. You got to stop. You got to get out of the mindset that there's some kind of shortcut to a woman's panties, and there isn't. Sometimes you do get lucky. Yeah, I have been in the right place at the right time and got lucky and got some ass. Oh, I'll be honest with you. I have. I ain't trying to say it. I ain't trying to say it to be, to try to make it like, I'm a player or something. I've been in the right place at the right time and got laid. That's just how it was. That's how it was going down. Right. Kuklinski, the Iceman. Right, exactly. Yeah, the BTK killer. He was fucking with them for 20-some years, 30 years. Till he got sloppy and got arrogant. Guys child molesters right under their noses. Some of them even have guns and badges. Like I said, man, you have to You have to want to learn. You have to want to change. And a lot of guys don't want to change. A lot of guys want to, a lot of guys, y'all want somebody to cut your head open and pour knowledge into your brain. And that ain't how it work, man. You got to get up off your dead ass and do the work. That's why if I had, if I was in a situation unlike my own, I would definitely hire a life coach, because I ain't gonna be out here making stupid mistakes when I don't have to. I'd rather spend the money and get right. Like I said, I'm not bragging about my record, but my record speaks for itself. I have gotten people out their mama's house. Do you know how hard that is to get somebody out their mama house? Because basically, the thinking behind a guy that won't voluntarily leave his mama house, that's the same thing as him not wanting to be born. Him wanting to go. That's the mindset behind, like what Freud was talking about. Somebody wanting to go back into the every time if a man had a hard time, a hard time or tribulation in life, he would want to go back into the uterus. And that was that kind of thinking is a psychopathology, because you should be trying to get as far away from the uterine, from your mama's uterus as possible. But if there is a clinging of you and your mama, then that's unhealthy, and that's what we call codependency. So there's so many different directions I can go in here, but I'm not trying to confuse you. So this ain't about I can do a whole show on codependency if you want me to. Because some guys might not want to hear this, because they think I'm attacking them, and I'm not attacking you. I'm just giving you textbook, breaking down the textbooks in street form, in the street vernacular. That's all I'm doing. My textbooks are sitting over here on the floor. This is what we're dealing with. And the only way to deal with it is to get clinical. So I do my research. That's why the dating Bible ain't finished. I could have threw it together and just to make some money, but I wasn't going to do y'all like that. I'd rather people complain and say, hey, when the book going to come out, than for me to lose somebody totally, that said, hey, I was expecting for the Iceman to go all out with that dating Bible, and it wasn't that. It was fucked up. It was just 300 pages of gobbledygook, and that's something I don't want to do. My background is psychopathology. My background is mental health, and I'm using that to benefit you guys. Okay? And all I ask is for some light donations. $5 here, $10 here. Today is $10. I'm breaking down a lot of pertinent information. And like I said, we're going to have to do a part 2, part 3, or part 4 of this. Because at the end, I want to explain to you whether SIMPin and TRICKin is declining or it's on the incline. Oh, hell yeah, they do. Anybody that wants to put down their own race just for somebody of another race, that's sickness. That shows a sickness on your part. See, I don't want to be another race. See, when I get around other races, I'm the dude that's like, I don't change. I'm still grabbing my dick. I'm still like, fuck you. If you say something stupid, I'm getting that ass. I don't care if you don't like me. See, most of these people, most of these non-black people, they're not used to blacks like that. They're used to blacks that kiss their ass, that chases them around for friendship, and they get around me, and I'm like, if we can be cool, we can be cool. If you don't want to be cool with me, you can go fuck a duck. That's what that's about. That's why I stopped, making everything totally about black women when it really ain't totally about black women. We got to stop making it about everything about black women, and understand how we got into this situation in the first place, which was white supremacy and the games that the white supremacists play. And black men and black women, we need to be trying to survive instead of trying to shit on each other every chance we get. Now, when you look at state of dating in this country, they got people under the assumption that you can be a dumb cough or a doofus and get things done the way you did them 20 years ago. Those are the people that's having a rude awakening when it comes to finances. Because some people, you have to understand something, and I say that with this, I say this with no malice. I'm not saying this to be mean, but I'm gonna say this. A lot of people are gonna have a rude awakening the way they did in 2007, 8, and 9. A lot of people are going to find out that life has just got a lot harder for them. Life's gonna be a lot harder for them, and they may not make it. Because let me tell you something. When you work 2 jobs, you really need 3 or 4 to make one full-time job. You never catch up. I remember I had 3 jobs one time, and I was literally falling asleep walking. I was so tired that I was getting nowhere. And it caused problems with one of my jobs because I was half asleep there. And I didn't have time to go home and get a nap because I didn't have time. My transportation was fucked up. But the one job that paid me the most money, gave me the most hours, but also provided other benefits like a free gym membership and all that type of stuff. I stayed with that. I made sure that job was taken care of when those other 2 weren't. And so there came a time when I lost those other 2 because I didn't give a shit. After a while, I didn't give a shit. Damn. You got all these hurricanes and tornadoes popping off around some of these areas, and you notice they're not interviewing any black folks. And I do know some black folks live in some of these towns, but the spirit of Ogun, okay, going right through Oklahoma, going up through the Midwest, going out to the East Coast. Tearing their ass up.
And Stephen Valero had high hopes.
Tearing their ass up. And it's going to keep happening every year. Every year, they are going to get hit with these tornadoes and these hurricanes, and we still coming up on hurricane season later on in the summer.
It's fixable.
You know what I'm saying? We dealing with all that type of shit, but then you also got a woman in your house, or you got a woman that you dating that ain't doing nothing but giving you a world of shit just so you can get some ass. Because that's the only thing you really there for. So you have to ask yourself, what's the cost? What's the cost of me dealing with this broad? Is it worth it? And a lot of you guys don't have enough sense to know that it ain't worth it. A lot of you niggas don't want to admit that, or you just want to just give up and just, well, I'm MGTOW. We don't even know what MGTOW is. What you need to be is an incel. You dig? But like I said, you got so much to learn. And a lot of you guys don't want to learn. Not the hard way, you don't, which is the best way. You want me to give you some pickup lines. I had one of my clients say to me, "Hey, Ice, tell me some stuff I need to say to women." I said, "Nigga, I ain't telling you. I ain't finna give you no lines to tell women. That's not how you get women." People be like, "Man, you real funny, you real crazy acting." I say, "Yeah, but I don't act like that when I first meet somebody. And I talk like a regular person. How you doing?" I reach my hand out. "Hey, how you doing? What's your name?" "Oh, over for real? Darnisha? How you doing?" "The Ice Man." "Take them titties out." Now I wait, a couple days before I say that. But man, I don't be saying no lines to women. I just know how to use the environment. Start talking to them. Oh, if something like, say something happened, we had a movie theater and we're all waiting to go back in the theater. Maybe something happened. Maybe somebody passed out, and you standing there at the snack bar. They, making it. The fire department got to clear the building. So you standing there around some women. You just there to see the movie by yourself, and you start hollering at one of the chicks. She hollering at you, giving you play, and you like, you know what I'm saying? You like, "Hey, this is crazy. Man, I was just gonna give me some sugar, some sugar babies, and man, this popped off, and yeah, do you know what's going on?" But you can also seg into more personal conversation, because you can always pick up on the energy a woman's giving you sexual energy. If you're not getting sexual energy, you have to ask yourself, well, why are you trying to play like you're interested in me? Oh, I know, you want to milk my bank account. You're a wallet assassin. And all this chick is gonna do is murk your wallet. That's why I tell guys all the time, learn this game the right way. Yeah, you might end up having to spend a couple of dollars and donate a couple of dollars, but it's a tax write-off and you learning something. And the guys be like, some guys we want to argue. They want to say, whoa, so are you gonna teach me how to talk to women? Yes. But I can't do it until I get gobbledygook out of your head. You got to unlearn some things so you can believe in what we're doing. You got to believe in being able to talk to these women, because if rejection happens and you ain't going to like it, and then you're going to want to retreat. You're going to want to quit and you want to retreat. And I'm not going to see 6 months of work go down a drain because I don't know what I'm doing. See, if I think that somebody's ready mentally, cognitively, then I may put them in a situation where they have to think their way out of a paper bag. They got to think their way out of a situation. Because what if she's giving you hints? What if she's giving you body language that she ain't attracted to you? Well, if you're a dumb simp or a trick, you don't understand that this one girl or this woman's body language is, I really ain't interested in you, but I want to be rude. See, when I picked that kind of energy up, when I first picked that energy up, then I deal with it. Hey, you take care. You have a nice day. See, when I didn't know any better, I might have got too personal. And then now this chick is letting me know, hey, I'm not into. I was talking to you because I was just having a conversation with you. I didn't expect this to turn into, you getting my number and all this shit. See, that's what make black men look thirsty. When I start looking outside of myself and seeing the kind of behavior I was expressing, I said, you know what? I'm looking thirsty. Nah, do I really need to do all that? No, I don't. I got enough game. So I said to myself, no, I gotta let what God gave me help me be a social individual. You digs? But you gotta know, you gotta get to that point. And so when you're dealing with a woman and you start here at the top of the hill, now I want you to picture in your mind that we're on the incline. Remember, when humans experience certain experiences, that those experiences are locked in our long-term memory. But it's not so far back in the hard drive in your brain that you can't recall it quickly. So here's the situation. When you experience certain things, here's how women think. When they experience certain things with you, they'll say, okay, well, women are like children. You got to take them wherever you started. If you dumb enough to see Simpson Tricks will start up here. The first date will be Morton Steakhouse, Manny's Steakhouse, $60 dinner and up. He starts there instead of starting at Taco Bell or starting at Starbucks, meeting for a cup of coffee until we see, I see, because it's going to be up to me as the man to decide whether or not I want this to go to the next level. Because if I don't see certain things, I don't hear certain things in conversation, and I don't see like there's any eagerness here, then I know you're not into me. And I'm not going to waste my time taking you out on a date just to be, you know how you go to work and you talk to somebody at work and you say, hey, Laura, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I met this guy off a dating website. I went out with him. And then you might start talking to him and you might not be referencing me. And so you're talking to this coworker and she might say some shit like, yeah, I just went out with this guy. I really wasn't into him, but hey, it was a free movie and a free dinner. You know what I'm saying? See, I don't get played like that. If you ain't into me, see, back in the 80s, women, it was so easy not to let women play you like that. Plus women like that, you saw them coming. You saw them coming. It was so much easier back then. Plus, people had a little more tact. See, today, people ain't got no tact. So if you have no tact or no home training, that's where all this attention whoring and, getting all these tattoos. These women be getting all these tattoos all over their back, all over their chest, all over. Do you know how ugly that shit gonna look when you get in your 40s, 50s, and 60s? These women don't think about these fucking tiger tattoos they got around their damn waist and then going around one leg going down. Don't nobody want to see that shit. That shit ain't sexy. Dude, I done fucked 40-year-old chicks that had all them fucking biker fucking tattoos. And I'm just like, that shit, it ain't a good look. It ain't a good look. Especially on Caucasian chick. Or white looking Hispanic chick. That shit don't look good. A lot of them tattoos don't look good on Caucasian people that don't have any melanin in them. Now the ones that are like, like you got the ones that are like, Mediterranean, like Greeks, Armenian, something like that. They got a little black in them. Those are the ones that tan real good. That's why you can still consider them Caucasians. They're not necessarily white, but they are Caucasian. They're called ethnic whites or ethnic Caucasians. See, people learn the rules of white supremacy and racism when they come to America, because now they're competing against us. So if they can come in at the top, well, I'm white, I'm Caucasian. Yeah, you're Caucasian, but you ain't white yet. It's gonna take some years for you to get white. See, it took years for Italians to become white. You understand? Italians weren't accepted as whites until like maybe the 70s. That's when you had Welcome Back Kotter and John Travolta. You had all these Italian dudes, or you had white dudes imitating Italian dudes like the Fonz on Happy Days. The ethnics were the cool, not like Polish people or somebody like that, but Italians, because they had the most amount of black in them. They were a lot cooler than the average Caucasian dude. So you had all that going into the 80s with the cool Italian. You had Greece, popping off. But these women think that shit is sexy because they ain't had no daddies. See, a daddy would have said, you don't mark your body up like that because you ain't got enough money to get a laser, pay for a laser to get that shit off. Today, you can get that shit off. 10 years ago, you could, but it wasn't that good. But today, you can get them tattoos off. And in 10 more years, the lasers will be even better, because the technology would have progressed. But let me holler at y'all for a second. Now, feminism, stupid shit like the Me Too movement has totally ruined dating. The organicness of dating, of meeting a person and being excited about meeting this new person and getting to know them and hoping that the sex will be good, better than it was with the chick you was with the last time. So, it's that type of thing. You don't get that anticipation that you used to get back in the day. When I meet women, their whole mindset is just, let's see how much money he got, because I'm just looking for somebody to ride off into the sunset with, because my pension alone ain't enough. See, that's what I get. That's the kind of women I meet. Somebody that think I'm dumb enough to give them a free ride. It's not gonna happen. You're not going on base with me. Hey, I can go on military hops if I want to. You think I'm taking them with me so they can get a free flight somewhere? I could go to, Hawaii. I just don't want to be sitting in no flight line all day. Because sometimes you got to let the active duty guys go before you, especially if they high ranking. They're NCO or officer. They definitely go ahead of you, which I don't have a problem. Readiness. That's how I want it. Hey, our service members go ahead of me all day, all night. But a simps can't simps, and this is, well, we're gonna have to finish this next week, guys. Well, let's finish this. Let's finish this next week. We'll do a part 2 of will SIMPin and TRICKin ever end? We're probably going to have to do a 3 or 4 part series on this. So we'll do this every Saturday until I get done, because there's too much to unravel here. Like I'll give you an example. The reason why women are so don't care whether they are overweight. They don't care whether they do anything with their hair. A lot of brothers is like, I don't care if you don't want to put I don't care if you don't want to put something on your head. If you want to cut your hair off and cut it short like Anita Baker and just let it grow out, I have no problem with that. The thing that brothers are complaining about are the attitudes and the viewpoints of the average Black American woman. And it's such a bad look that it's ruining how we come together, procreate, and then have more children to replenish with our DNA. That's why it wasn't unheard of for a guy my age in his mid 50s to start a whole new family somewhere else, because you had steady income. You had steady income, so you were never worried about, okay, can I take care of this new family? You were able to take care of that, your old family and the new family, on what you made. Today, it is not that way at all, because the inflation, the economy is just totally fucked up. Growth, our GDP would grow twice to what it is today if they would spend the money to create jobs, to help people create businesses so they can create jobs, and people could take that money and spend that in the economy. Our economy would double. But because they do it the way they do it, trying to hold back Black folks, because like I said, you have to understand, At the end of the day, the end target is you and me. Eliminate us. Keep us from procreating. Keep us from, raising well-adjusted, loving, but confident children who are not afraid of white supremacy. You know how hard it is to raise a child like that, because that's what some of you are doing right now, whether in your home or outside the home. You're already doing that. And you're trying to do it the best way you can. And all this other what about, LGBT, or what about this, or what about all that stuff is ancillary dumb shit that has nothing to do with black folks getting the bag. And if you don't have the bag, you can't date the type of women you want to. Matter of fact, it's getting to the point where you can't even get a fat bitch now. It's getting to the point where the average brother can't even get a 4. See, back when I was still a young man, as long as you had a job and a car and an apartment, girls wanted to get with you. They wasn't expecting nothing. Now it's just sick now. God, that's why there's so much lying. That's why dudes be lying so much. They'll go on plenty of fish or some other old stupid ass dating website, and they'll come on there lying. So they think all men, all they do is haul off and lie. Like, I've had white women say to me, how come black men just be lying? Like, what you just say, bitch? Don't say no shit like that to me. But I thought about it. I said, all men lie. Fuck you talking about? All men fucking lie. Give them a shot. They'll all lie. And that shit ain't got nothing to do with socioeconomics, nothing. That's just what men do. We fucking lie. Because we think the standard is to tell this bitch a bunch of shit, and then when the bitch meet me and she found out I ain't even got a call, all I got is a bus pass. Well, do you really think that woman's gonna want to give you some pussy after you done sat up here and said you had a Bentley? That's why online dating, that's one of the reasons online dating doesn't work. It's because of clowns like that. Or you have the one that takes pictures with all these good angles but you go to meet this chick and she don't look nothing like she did on the picture. Maybe the picture was too old. Maybe the picture, even though it might have only been 3 months ago, that it took that long for that bitch to blow up to be bigger than what she was in the picture. Trust me, I got burnt like that a couple of times. I was like, damn, man, this is bullshit. Chicks not have, that's why, when I used to do online dating 7 to 8, 10 years ago, women that didn't have pictures on their page, I said, hey, I ain't even talking to you. Because every time, I'm telling you, every time they didn't have a picture of themselves, they were always either very unattractive, just straight up fat, or they were attractive, and they probably was out here gaming niggas. Because I have met some that were attractive. And when I met them, I said, oh, now I see why. Now I see why this chick is creeping around out here. And this was a chick one time, this was a chick that straight up told me, she said, as long as you do what you say you're going to do, she said, I'll fuck you as much as you want. I was like, I can't afford you. I wouldn't even want you like that anyway. I wouldn't want to have some an arrangement like that anyway. You digs? But anyway, y'all, make sure you go to asktheiceman.com and donate. It's $10 Saturday, donation Saturday, or just hit me on the Cash App. Cash App is ID is $ the Iceman 1906. I'm gonna take a quick break. Those of you who haven't donated yet, give you a chance to get caught up here. We need to do a part 2, part 3 of this. This is just a lot of information. It's a lot of information to unpack. So I'm gonna give you guys a chance to donate, but give you guys a chance to get your head together. I'll be right back in a couple of minutes. You're tuned in to the Player Circle podcast. I'm your host, the Iceman. Be right back in 2 and 2. Hey guys, don't do super chat. Super chat's not hooked up. Donate that $5 at Cash App. Uh, go in the chat room, JL504HD. Go in the chat room and get the Cash App thing, because it's not going to go through. Yeah, that's the Cash App thing right there. Or you can donate it at AskTheIceman.com. Yeah, super chat's not set up, guys. You digs? Appreciate it. We got some tough times ahead. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, we need soldiers. And a lot of you guys, mentally, the only people you know how to fight is people that look like you or people in your family. And that's going to be to our detriment. Okay? I want to teach you how to be better daters, but but it'll, no matter what I do, whether you hire me as a life coach or you donate, and by the way, if you want me to talk about a specific topic, donate at least $20 or more and tell me what you want me to talk about on the show, on the broadcast. Now it has to be in line with what I talk about all the time. It don't tell me to don't sit up here and donate $20 and then be talking about, hey, my topic, I want you to do a show on whether or not Trump's balls is orange just like the rest of his body. Can you do that, homie, big homie? Now for that, I'm not gonna do. Okay? Because you're being ridiculous. Now I'm not gonna do that, but something else, yeah. But guys, look, in order to be successful at dating, you have to have a mystique. If you don't have one already, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, then you're not ready to date, because women are going to figure you out. You're going to be the guy who you're awkward around her all the time. It's not cute. It's not romantic comedy movie cute. Okay, that shit only works in the movies. Don't no woman want no weak ass man who with no backbone. I don't care what bullshit the cues you see on TV. If a woman has her choice, she's gonna choose an alpha male, not a beta. That's why women have been choosing me instead of maybe somebody like some of these guys I talk about in my family. Women know weak men when they talk to them or deal with them. You the guy. This is the guy that they go on one date with the guy, and then the next day the guy inviting her over. The next date he inviting her over to his house, and his house ain't fit for no date like that. He ain't got no table. They got to eat on TV trays that his mama gave him, his grandmama gave him from the 1970s. When you come out like that, you ain't even got to, your apartment is junky, it stink. They done figured you out, player. They ain't gonna want to see you again. They done figured you out. You living in a boring ass 1-bedroom apartment, and don't you seem like you ain't got you seem like you ain't got no social life. That's why I be trying to talk to dudes. Women automatically seem intriguing because they don't say a lot, because they know not to say anything, because they know as soon as they open their mouth, they're going to say some dumb shit and it might run you off. Unless you one of these desperate simps or one of these desperate tricks who will fuck anything, who will charge anything. That's silly. But that's who we got out here. And again, but by the time we get to the last installment of this, you'll understand why I'm doing this in installments, because you'll understand that at the end of this, whether it be a part 3 or part 4 of this, what you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that we can't sit here and talk about dating or whether or not you should be dating if there's a whole lot of other things that are the reason why your dating is fucked up, because it could be something we can fix. Let me tell you something. Of all the people that have hired me as a life coach, the one thing that they have never said was, you didn't help me become a better man. That's the one thing they said. You're tough, but you're fair, and I can live with that. And eventually we met our goal, which is what was to give them confidence enough to talk to women, or to start talking to women. You digs? See, this is the reason why you see people like my brother, paying bitches to go on cruises, because he want to skip all these steps. Because you figure if you go, see, if I go up to a woman and I say, hey, I don't know you, but I want to take you on a cruise. That's your starting point. We're starting up here. You understand? We're starting up here, because what person, what player do you know will start when you first meet a woman, promising her you're gonna take her on a $3,500 cruise? Now the first thing a woman gonna say is, "Oh, is that free?" Now she ought to have enough sense to know that it ain't. And like I said, my brother, he was giving these bitches free cruise. I think he did that at least twice, according to a couple cousins down there in Houston. I was like, man, look at this sad ass nigga. But see, he get that from my dad being a simp. But that's his selling point. Hey, I'll take you on a free cruise, and I ain't even tried to get the ass yet. I know I would never take a woman on a cruise if I ain't hit it yet. Because how do you know you want to take her on a cruise? You might hit it at your house, or hit it at your at your mama at your house, and you like, hey, I don't think I want to see this chick no more. Let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it 100, player. This is why you got to build your social skills up. It can't just be that you want to jump from step 1 to step 15 and not be willing to do step 1 through 14 to 15. That's how, because see, by the time you get that high, you have learned some things, and you're probably doing some things that are going to lead you exactly where you want to go socially. Okay. Now, one thing I notice is that guys want to become a pickup artist. And dating is not about being a pickup artist. The pickup artist crap that you saw on MTV and VH1 back in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, that was all staged. That was all staged. Those ugly ass white dudes. Look, it's easy for a white dude to go to a bar and get play, especially if he's over 6 feet, which a lot of them are. I've seen white dudes that look like Howdy Doody, but as long as they were over 6 feet, white girls was all over them when we went to bars when we were on active duty. Okay? But at the same time, there's times when I've had Hispanic women and Native American women all over me. So much so that I almost married one of them. At this stage of the game in dating, I'm not trying to stick my thumb in the eye of black women like a lot of you guys try to do. I don't do that. I'm not getting anything out of that. And these women that I'm doing it to, they don't know me. So what's the end game? What's the benefit? The benefit is that what I'm doing is juvenile and sophomoric and stupid. So that's why I try to tell you, don't be hateful toward black women, because that's not going to do anything for you. What you need to do is learn how to understand them so that you don't get one that fools you. Like one tried to fool me. You might not be able to get out of that marriage the way I did, unscathed. I didn't have to pay no alimony, none of that shit. But I got screwed on child support. You digs? So the point that I'm trying to make to you is this. You got to be able to look out here and see the defense and say, oh, I know what they getting ready to do. And with your behavior, you got to show them something else and try to fool them. They think you get ready to pass, but you actually getting ready to run. Imagine the chaos that's going to create for the defense with them dropping back into coverage. And you got the line pushing forward in run blocking. I'd say the running back has an easy 10, 15-yard gain or more. You digs? So I always use the analogy of football because it's fun, and I know a lot of you guys are football fans. So I give you guys some understanding. But that's why we got to do multiple, that's why we got to do multiple installments of this, because there's no way you can unpack a lot of this. You're going to have to go back and re-listen to this. I'm not going in the textbooks. I'm not going chapter to chapter to chapter. The next week we're gonna okay. Next week is same topic. We're gonna do it part 2. Part 2 next week. Will SIMPin and TRICKin ever end? Part 2. Player Circle Podcast. Will you be here next week? Hopefully you will be. So you get part 2, get gamed up. Please donate. Please donate $10 today. You can go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the add to cart. I mean, not add to cart button, but to the add to cart button is for the book. scroll down to the donate button and donate today. And all donations are tax deductible 100%. So you will be able to write it off on your 2020 taxes from 2019. So remember, you can do that. And fundraising is for fundraising is for clothing and book bags for fall 2019. Okay, so that's what that's for. People ask me, well, what's the donations for? That's what that's for. You can either do it on the Cash App, or you can go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button. So if you haven't done that, do that right now. Thank you. I want to thank the Brown Sauces, the Great B, T Mason 995, Triple T Kill. And most of all, thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with the Iceman on the Player Circle podcast. You digs? I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I'm gonna eat me some wings now. You ain't gonna kick me for my wings now. Eat the rest of my, eat the other part of my dinner. I always eat it in 2 parts. Ate the other part for the show, for the broadcast. Anyway, donate today. Have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Look out for the popo. You digs? But look out for these deputized citizenry too. You digs? You tune into the Player Circle podcast. I am your host, the Iceman. Holla at your boy. Player.